Welcome back. Effingham Secondary School in Durban suspended classes today after a fight broke out on the school grounds on Thursday amid unconfirmed racism allegations. What began as an altercation between two schoolgirls soon erupted into chaos as private security officers and police faced off with dozens of pupils. We are going to speak to the Education Department in KwaZulu-Natal in a moment, but first, let's take a look at this clip.
This is just not right, man.
All right, let's speak to the KwaZulu-Natal Education HOD, Nathi Ngcobo. Thanks for your time, HOD. Appreciate it. If you can, explain to us how this fight started. What was the cause?
Thank you very much, Shahan. What happened, we're not sure of the finer details, but all we know at this moment is that a fight broke out between two grade 12 girls on Wednesday. And as the teachers were trying to separate them, some boys, entered into the fray, and there was chaos in the school. The principal then advised that parents must, on Thursday again the fight started, and the principal then advised parents to come in and take their kids home. And when the parents came, the parents of one of the girls started assaulting the other girl, and there was chaos again. Then police came, and it resulted in what you actually saw. The involvement of the private security, we're not sure how they got involved, but we're informed that they were called by the police. But we are investigating. We've asked that aspect be investigated as to the involvement of the private security guards, because police would normally ask for backup from from other police stations or from the police station if they have a problem. But this time around, we saw private security guards coming in. We don't know how they got involved, and as a result of that, our MEC has asked that be investigated. The MEC also has asked our legal team to consider and look at possibilities of criminal charges against those security guards who were wielding, weapons against defenseless learners, and who probably are not trained in dealing with situations such as the ones that they were facing there.
So you have two issues to deal with. Unruly pupils and heavy-handedness from the security company. But also there are claims, according to some articles, a citizen, for instance, is saying that another officer who appears to be part of the Durban Metro Police is seen pointing a firearm at a pupil who's attempting to get the guards to let go of the pupil who is being dragged on the ground. So are you going to look into the Durban Metro Police also in terms of the way they handle the situation?
Yes, in fact, our MEC has already communicated with the mayor of the Durban Metro to investigate, the role of the Metro Police in that incident, because their vehicles actually seen around the place where there was this chaos, and the MEC and all of us in the department want to know what their real involvement was. But we will not hesitate to pursue criminal charges if the investigations and legal advice says we can do so.
Okay, talk to me about the behavior of these pupils, because the bigger issue here is the way in which security officers handled the situation. How this started and the unruly behavior is something else that you need to deal with. What are your interventions there?
We have already started that investigation as to how this whole thing started. But the unruly behavior by learners in any school is something that we condemn. And incidents such as these are getting common in our schools, in KZN and indeed in other parts of the country. I think part of the problem would be, the social ills that, are befalling us and general behavior patterns of some of our learners, which we are dealing with through our psychosocial services who try and counsel our learners, about the results on the effects of behavior such as this. It certainly is the behavior that we don't appreciate, we don't welcome in our schools, because it's certainly not what the country would need as its future citizens.
Yeah. Talk to me about the overall issue of discipline in schools in KwaZulu-Natal, because, in Gauteng we see many of these videos emerging. But what are your interventions to deal with the violence overall when it comes to pupils' behaviors?
We have a school safety strategy, which of course is a document that when we launched, we did say that we will keep improving it and adapting it to situations as and when they come. But in that school safety document, we enlist a number of stakeholders who should participate in the questions of discipline of our learners, in the questions of getting involved in criminality and so on. We are encouraging parental involvement in such situations because, schools on their own cannot do everything in terms of ensuring that there's discipline. It should start at the home, and the society at large really must assist us by ensuring that we raise our children in such a way that you wouldn't find them engaged in acts of violence such as they've done. So it's a multi-pronged strategy which involves behavior and in the school itself, behavior outside, and which involves the roles of other, departments like your Department of Social Development, the police, traditional leaders. It's a multi-pronged strategy that encompasses roles of all those stakeholders that I'm mentioning.
Yeah.
And we will be saying to our circuit managers there that they must invoke the provisions of this school safety strategy that we have.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. KwaZulu-Natal Education HOD, Nathi Ngcobo.